watch y'all all the time. I watch the Unskilled. I appreciate y'all. I understand it. Like I was telling him, you asked me about being cursed. I said you can be cursed in your mind and live in that reality. But I'm not cursed in my mind, so I don't live in that reality. That's what they want us to believe. I'm not trying to believe what they want. I'm trying to live my own life according to Christ and all, everybody, you know what I'm saying, what I've learned over the 30 years that I've been.
Okay.
Understand Christ.
Okay, so you're saying it's a mind condition? That's pretty much what you're saying? As being cursed? You're saying
it's what they brainwash us with.
Okay, like elaborate. Like, what do you mean? What they brainwash us with? Give me some.
White Jesus.
Exactly.
Slavery.
Exactly. But majority of our people, they believe that. Do they not? Do they not believe?
Obviously, yes.
God is
it's
saying.
Obvious how they walk around here like zombies.
Right. Exactly. So we're cursed. I mean, it is reality.
Yeah.
That's what we're going through.
Chosen people.
Exactly, according to the Bible. Right. Well, why is that happening to us?
Why is that happening to us?
Right.
I'm not exactly, well educated on that, but from my experience, it's a brainwashing, man. That's simply put. It's brainwashing.
Give me
That's the best word I can use right now.
Because God told us, He gave us the reason why we will be put in these conditions.
Yeah,
why we will live the way that we live.
Yeah.
You understand? He gave us that.
Because we went against what He.
Exactly. I'm about to read that for you right now. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Read it out.
But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if we didn't listen to God's commandments, read.
To observe, to do all His commandments.
You hear that, brother?
And His statutes, which I command thee this day,
read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So is curse a good thing or is it a bad thing? Being cursed.
They could teach us a lesson.
Exactly. So you being taught a lesson, what must you do?
Apply to it.
Exactly. Apply God's laws. So that's what we bring it out. Brother, how you do? Brother, how you do? What's your name, brother? Freitas?
I got you.
Okay, so
I'm just washing my bag.
okay, so we're going into why we're cursed. We're cursed because we haven't kept God's laws.
Right.
We're cursed. Yeah, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Not everybody, because a lot of people think that the Bible was written for everyone. The Bible wasn't written for everyone.
Right.
The Bible was written for a specific people.
Bring it out.
To a specific people.
Right.
By a specific people.
Bring it out.
It was not written for the whole world. So that's what we're bringing out, because these curses of Deuteronomy only applies to us.
Right.
You understand?
We're cursed right now?
Exactly. We're about to bring out some curses.
Where's the blessing coming?
You said, where's the blessing? Okay, give me 28, verse 1. Because like a coin, you have heads and you have tails. The heads will be the positive side, right? And the tails will be the negative side if you didn't do what I told you to do. So read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1.
Read
it out.
And it shall come to pass.
Come on.
If thou shalt hearken diligently.
If we listen diligently, carefully, read.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Which is this Bible, read.
To observe and to do all His commandments.
Come on.
Which I command thee this day.
Read.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Are we set on high above all nations of the earth?
Right now?
Yeah, right now. Like so-called blacks and Native Americans.
No.
On the side. Are these people on this side? Are we set above all nations on the earth?
No.
It's actually the opposite. It's actually the opposite. We're at the bottom and everybody else is on the top. For instance, a so-called Asian. They could come here, don't have no documentation.
Right.
In the next year or 2 years, they have a Chinese restaurant, a dry cleaning in your neighborhood.
Bring it out.
In your neighborhood, bro.
But we can do it too.
How can we do it?
Pull our resources together.
Right, by what? Because a drug addict and a whoremonger can't come together and establish a business.
Right.
There's no unity, you understand?
Right.
We have to be on some sort of common ground.
Sometimes we put our own feet in our own way. We make excuses for the things that we do wrong.
Watch out.
I gotta go, brother.
What's up?
You cursed.
Yes, we are cursed.
even though you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes, I'm still cursed.
So you won't stop being cursed until we as a whole do what God say.
Right, because check this out.
If you just do what God say in your household, won't you be blessed in a foreign land? If you do what God say?
Check this out, right? Because you had Israelites according to time of old, right? Our people. You had brothers and sisters that was doing the right thing, and you had brothers and sisters that was doing the wrong thing.
Right.
But when judgment came, Most High didn't always judge that individual person.
Right.
He judged us as a nation.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So as a nation, we came together here in slavery. Guess how we got to get out of here? Together in slavery.
Yes.
So if my people are cursed, guess what? I'm cursed too.
Right.
I can't leave without them. You understand?
Right.
My whole job is to wake them up.
Okay.
So I'm cursed just like my people.
What if they don't wake up, so you're going to die cursed?
Okay, give me
If
Zechariah.
they don't wake up, you're going to die cursed?
No, check this out. Give me Zechariah. Zechariah, because read that.
Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8.
Read.
it out. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord,
Whenever we scattered all the lands, because we were scattered through slavery, read.
2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
It says 2 parts of our people, of the Israelites. It says 2 parts of us are going to be cut off and die. Because our people are not going to hearken.
Right.
We're not going to listen. But does that make you cursed? Does that mean that it's over for you just because the rest of your people are not hearkening? Does that make you? Read on.
He just
Watch this.
clarified.
Watch this.
2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
Come on.
But the third shall be left therein.
There we go.
Remnant.
So if you doing your job, it's not up to you. I mean, it's not up to you. It's up to Most High God.
Right.
As long as you're doing your job, you're going out there trying to wake your people up. That's all that matters. You're keeping the commandments.
Right.
When He returns, He will save you.
Right.
And the rest of them will be put to death. Pretty much in the Bible, they'll be doomed because they wasn't hearkening. You got to understand that Most High created some people for death, and He created some people to live. That's just how He created them. That was their whole purpose. I created them for. You understand? That's what that's going into. So yes, we are cursed right now. We are cursed as a people. So you go back to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28. You should start right there. Oh, 15. So what is your nationality? Like, what do you go by? You go by African American? Do you know that's a race of 2 white people? 2 white men?
No, I didn't.
Like Leo, like the word African. That comes from a white man named Leo Scipio Africanus.
Right.
He conquered Africa during the Second Punic War and named that continent after himself, according to Psalms 49. And then you had an Italian navigator by the name of Amerigo Vespucci, who so-called discovered America when the Northern Kingdom tribe of Israel, we was already here. So how could you be 2 nationalities? Well, how could you be 2 white men and call yourself a so-called black man?
So what about Africa? I mean, so Africa, you're saying Africa is not the original name of Africa?
No, it's not. It was actually called the land of Canaan.
Right.
It was called the land of Canaan because you know the story of Noah?
Yes.
Noah had 3 sons.
Right.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth. You understand? And Ham had a son called Canaan. He had, matter of fact, give me the Zondervan Bible dictionary. Because remember, the earth was flooded, right? And the Most High started all over with Noah. He started with Noah, and he started with their wives and their sons, right? So it was 8 people that was on the face of the planet. So those 8 people populated the rest of the world, which is us here today. So, yeah, give me hand. About the progenitor. So we are not the Africans, all right? We're not Africans. That's just a name to throw us off. You understand? To throw us off, saying we're Africans, because we were actually sold by the Africans. We're gonna get that too. You understand that, bro? You understand that the Africans sold the Israelites into slavery?
Part of it. They took part in it.
They did.
Right. They had us in slavery. Right. Right. Read this for me.
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Come on.
Page 2:13.
Uh-huh.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah,
Uh-huh.
born probably about 96 years before the flood,
Uh-huh.
and one of 8 persons to live through the flood.
Uh-huh.
He became the progenitor of the dark races.
What does progenitor mean? Yeah, the founder, the father of. So he became the progenitor of the dark races. But
I don't believe that.
hold on.
I believe back in the day we were already. I believe they were already black.
Yeah, it's
I believe they were already black. So
yeah,
he didn't
majority
start
of the
that.
world we was black. The only people that was different was the so-called white man.
Right.
Everybody was black. But just because we was black don't mean we're the same people.
That's
That's what it's going into. Read it. Read on. Watch this.
He
Watch
became the progenitor of the dark races,
this. Come on.
not the Negros.
Not the Negro. So he was the forefather of the dark races, but not us, not the Negroes. Read on. Let's find out who he was the father of.
But the Egyptians,
The Africans,
Ethiopians,
the Africans,
Libyans,
the Africans,
and
the
Canaanites.
Africans. That's not us. When we were brought here on cargo slave ships, they didn't say, "Hey, we got Africans for sale." They said, "We got Negroes for sale."
Right.
Because they know we wasn't the same people. We're not the same people.
I heard that. Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Could you be an Israelite and be an African by faith, or by what you do, how you live your life,
So
or is it just to a certain race? Because I was reading another book where it says it's not the ethnicity of your color, but it's how you live, how your walk, how you believe in God, how you live. So all the other races doomed. They just lost, even if they want to do what God said.
you got to understand, from the beginning, God always had a chosen people.
Right.
He always
so you
had a
can't
chosen
be engrafted. You can't just do what God say and live the way God lived and be a white man.
You could do it, but it's not going to benefit you because God only had a specific people. He only had chosen people.
So he only will save the black.
That's right. Let's get it. Give me Deuteronomy 76. Give me Deuteronomy 76.
So okay, go ahead.
I won't say black because it's not about color. Because we have brothers and sisters that's Northern Kingdom.
So what if I'm not what if I'm an African? So ain't no sense in me just doing, what y'all do. Because I'm already doing. I might as well just go out and just smoke.
Right,
shoot,
pretty much.
Kill.
Pretty much.
F-U-C-K.
Pretty much. Why is that? Watch this. Psalms 147.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19.
Watch this. Watch this.
He shewed his word unto Jacob.
Unto Jacob. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes. His name was changed to Israel. It says he showed his what?
He showed his word unto Jacob.
The word is the laws. He showed his laws unto Jacob. Read on.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Unto these people. Read on.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Any nation outside of Jacob, outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, he never dealt with them. Read on.
And as for his judgments,
For his judgments, meaning if the Israelites do something wrong, we'll get judged immediately. If the other nations do something wrong, they won't get judged because he was never dealing with them in the first place. They don't know judgment. That's why they do the things that they do. They don't know anything. They don't know judgment.
What about the Ishmaelites? And
The
promise of
Ishmaelites?
The Ishmaelites.
They're not the Israelites.
I'm saying, what about the promise that God gave the Ishmaelites?
What promise was that? Because the promise of the Ishmaelites was he was going to give them 12 princes. And they rich beyond wonders. So they got their blessing. That was their blessing. They got it.
They got their oil.
They got theirs. You understand? The Israelites, our blessing is the kingdom.
That's right.
And we keep God's statutes and commandments, we're going to get the kingdom. You understand?
How do you know you're not an African?
How I know I'm not an African? Because of this right here. Give me Deuteronomy 28.
Is it the cheekbones? Is it the
It's
facial structure?
it's not about facial structures because
Is it the height? How do you know who's an African and who's an Israelite? How do you know?
watch it. Give me Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Before that, give me Romans 8.
Yes.
Romans
Yeah.
8:16.
8:16. I got you.
Because ain't no regular African, ain't no regular other nation. When you hear God's laws and find out
you're
what,
not one though.
how I know, I'm about to explain it to you right now.
You
Watch
trace
this.
your deed.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 16.
Come on.
Get out.
The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit.
So the spirit of this Bible bears witness with our spirit. Read on.
That we are the children of God.
That we are the children of God. Watch this. Give me Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy.
This gonna prove you right
I
here.
can. Okay. Go ahead.
Watch this. Check this out.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Go to 68. I want to
Bring it out.
go straight there.
Verse 68.
Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So God said that He's going to bring the Israelites into slavery, into Egypt. The word Egypt is synonymous for bondage. It means slavery. So God says He's going to bring the Israelites into slavery again. What?
With ships.
How did we get over here? How did the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans get to America?
Bring it out.
With ships. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
So our homeland, which is Jerusalem, which is in northeast Africa,
Right.
God says we're not going to see our homeland again as a people. Read on.
And there thou shalt see it no more again.
Come on.
And there ye shall be sold.
To be what?
Sold.
To who?
Unto your enemies.
Because when we came over here,
Bring it
we
out.
didn't speak English.
Bring it
we
out.
were taught English. You understand? That's the last name of our oppressors. Psalms 49, real quick. Psalms 49,
Wow.
verse 11.
Hey, my, I
So
like the way
fit
you read,
the
my brother.
curses. We
I like the way
fit
that
the
man there
curses.
read.
All praises to
sir.
the
That's
Most
right.
High. All praises. So you get you get
So everybody with a last name.
not just off of that, just off of the curses of Deuteronomy and 28. If
So-
your spirit aligns up with the curses of Deuteronomy 28, and that has happened to your people, then indeed you are an Israelite according to the Bible.
Okay.
But everybody's spirit don't bear witness with this Bible.
Right.
They
Right.
don't. They
Right,
don't
but-
bear witness with
but
it.
you got
see,
some-
the thing is, if I may, the thing is, before they changed our name, they was getting people from West Africa. That's where the transatlantic slave trade came from.
You're absolutely correct.
So
That's in the
before we
Bible.
had those names, we had our ancient names that was being carried from that West Africa origin with the transatlantic slave trade. That's the name we was carrying.
Right, you're absolutely right.
So that would make us, so if your ancestors come from that part of West Africa, then you can trace your lineage to West Africa. That's a direct fact.
Okay,
Right.
give me Luke. Give me Luke
Wouldn't
because
that be right? I mean, that's
sort
a
of,
fact.
because we can't. It's only so far that you could go back to.
I'm saying.
And who
I'm saying
controls?
400 years.
Right.
If we do this,
Okay.
here, right? We're looking at the map.
All right.
If we did this from here, like you said, and the white man changed our names, then it stands to reason that the names that we had came from the origin where they took us from.
Okay.
Those was our original names, right? So if they took us from here, and our ancestors come from here, then we can trace our ancestry back to this land called Africa.
Okay.
Right?
Read this for me.
Luke chapter 21 and verse 20.
Read.
Get out.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
So this is Christ speaking to the Israelites. He's saying, listen, when the Romans come, just know that our time is up. Our time is up. We have to flee. Rome, we're going to be conquered. Jerusalem is going to be conquered by the so-called white man. Okay,
Right.
read on.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
Flee to the where?
To the mountains.
The mountains that they're talking about is Africa. So the Israelites fleeing, we ran from the Romans, we ran from the white man, we ran all through Africa.
Right.
We ran all through those countries. You understand? And being in those countries, guess what we started doing? We started mingling and mixing with the other nations, right?
What part of Africa did they make that migration?
We migrated everywhere, mainly the west coast of Africa, but we migrated everywhere. So when we migrated to the west coast of Africa, a lot of us wasn't keeping the laws of God.
Right.
We wasn't keeping the laws of God. You understand? So we started mixing and mingling and calling ourselves after the names of the land that we went to. You understand? That's what started happening. So, and also the so-called white man, you would have to go to him to get your DNA or whatnot analysis.
Right.
And it's, you can only go back so far.
So you're saying Israel populated Africa?
I won't say that.
And how long was we in that time before we were taken from Israel when after we made that migration? And
You said how long we was what?
How long was we in that continent called Africa before the white man came or the Romans came and got us and brought us over there? And what was the time frame of that migration from Israel to Africa?
Okay, we was there for hundreds of years before the white man came, because the Israelites, we built majority of those kingdoms that was over there. Like you had like Nigeria, they had a real big kingdom over there in Nigeria. The Israelites built that. We built that. We built those kingdoms.
Right. I mean, like the Congo. The Congo.
Yeah.
Or
So
even the pyramids. We could go there.
we built it. Yeah, we built the
can go
pyramids.
that
That was us.
Right.
We are the Israelites. We was in Africa at that. We was in Egypt at that time.
Hey, go back to Luke real quick. I'm gonna show you. Read that again.
Luke chapter 21 and verse 20.
Come
Bring
on.
it out.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
So Christ was telling the Israelite, when you see Jerusalem getting overtaken, like how the officer was saying, by armies. Come on.
Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
That the desolation of that place is near. You need to flee. So what the officer was trying to tell you is that Israel is just northeast. If you look on that map, it's northeast of Egypt.
Right.
So it's tacked on, but the white man divided it. But it was the Suez Canal. He divided Israel from Africa. Right. So now, back then it was together. So when he said flee into there, hold on, I'm gonna show you. The closest place to Israel was what? Egypt. That's what Christ. Remember when Joseph and Mary had Christ? They take go into Egypt, right? Same thing. So that's what he's telling the Israelites. Come on.
But they came back.
Watch this. I'm gonna show you.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
Come on.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
Read.
And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
So he said nobody come into Israel because the Roman so-called white man would take it over. Right. Now you asked the question. You said, where do we all migrate? Now you got that Timbuk? He said, where would you migrate? Now when we went into Egypt, we dwelt there. But listen, I'm finna explain it.
Yeah.
So it's years, hundreds of years went by. We started to move, we started to migrate down. Now we was all the way in Africa. So when the white man came all the way into Africa, you had places like Fort Judah, where all the Judites stayed at. We had our own sections in that area. That's why they know who to come get. They didn't come get Africans. They went to Fort Judah. They went to the area where Manasseh stayed. They said, take the Manassite, take them to this part of America, take the tribe of Judah, take them to America, most of the America, take the Levite. We gonna teach them Creole, take them over there to Levite. Yes, so that happened after we was in Africa hundreds of years. Hey, we got that. You got it.
You want the black Jews or you want to attack about the
Give me the black Jew with the African. Watch this, brother. Watch this. Watch this.
This is From Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor.
Rudolph R. Windsor, he went to Africa. He dwelt around them.
Does he
and
talk
studied.
about that migration from Israel
yeah.
to, and what was the population that migrated?
Finish show you. That's what I want.
Just trying to keep an eye
How
on
many
it.
Jews fled?
Okay.
Watch this, brother. Come here.
You can stay here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep an eye on it. Go ahead.
In the year 65
Give me
BC,
that. Watch this.
the Roman armies under General Pompey,
So it said when? 65 to 70. Read that again.
it says in the year 65 BC,
Before Christ. Come on.
the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
That's what we read. He said you're gonna see Jerusalem pass with armies. Come on.
And General Vespasian and his son Titus
Really?
put it into the Jewish state.
Cause it said Jewish state. We were doing our customs in Jerusalem. We were doing the Sabbath day. honoring our Lord the right way until Deuteronomy 28 had to be fulfilled. Meaning we had to go through the curses. We had to have shackles on our necks. We had to have yokes of iron on our neck. Come on.
With great slaughter.
With what?
Great slaughter.
Hold on. He said, listen, brother, listen. I want you to listen. He said with great slaughter, right? Keep on reading that.
Verse 22.
Listen.
For these be the days of vengeance.
Of what?
Of vengeance.
Meaning that they were gonna come kill us. What's his name? Rudolph R. Windsor knew that because he read the scripture. Come on.
During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
Watch this. Come on.
During the period from Pompey to Julius,
Those are Edomites, white people. Come on.
it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews,
How many?
1 million Jews
Come on.
fled into Africa.
So when we got from it, when Christ told us to flee into the mountains, we went into Egypt. So it was over 1 million of us. We went into Egypt. So we dwell in that area. So over a period of time, we started migrating to the bottom of Africa and all the other
So
coasts.
you began to become Africans over time.
So just because I go to Africa,
No.
I could be a white man and go to Africa and be born in Africa. Does that make me African?
Well, over time, when you start having those children,
so
you start dying out. Your culture and your roots and yourself start dying out over time.
So that would
I'm
make
just
so you saying that would make me an African. If my homeland, let's hold on. If my homeland,
Your progeny.
if I got stripped from my homeland and I had to flee into other parts of Africa, that does not make me an African over the period of time. Just because I'm dwelling there and learning their culture, it does not make me an African.
You're right. You got a great point. What I'm saying, the population in Africa is well over 1 million. So what I'm saying,
Understand.
it's very hard to identify to say if you have a migration coming in.
Right.
This is huge concept. Africa's not a country, it's a continent. And if you are over here in Egypt, and most of your time is in Egypt, like you say, in Egypt.
That's what we said. That's what we said at
But
first.
I'm saying, if most of your time is over here in Egypt, that's where it started, right?
Yeah, it wasn't most of our time.
Right, but I'm saying traveling all over. I'm not talking about, we ain't had the airplanes going, I'm just saying.
Right,
The migration, you couldn't walk from Egypt over to West Africa. So most of your migration,
Camels, horses, all that.
that right there still wouldn't happen.
What you mean? That
No, I'm
happened
just
over
saying.
hundreds of years.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you are in Egypt, right? And if you are in Egypt, most of your travel migration would still be in probably the northern, central, probably the eastern region. But you still got people all in central, south, and in West Africa. So it's kind of hard to say that, when the white man came over here, he just got Israel, and you still got a population of Africans that was here before the Israelites even got over there. If that migration took place. That's all I'm saying.
So basically what you're saying is when the Israelites fled into different parts of Africa, they became African. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that when the white
You're
man
saying
came,
that some of them could be African?
no, what I'm saying is when the European came and got us as black people in Africa,
Right.
it's very hard historically speaking, to identify and say that they just got the Israels that was just fleeing over there. I mean, that's a, you know what? Look, I'm just saying, it's a stretch.
Watch this.
It's a
Okay,
stretch
we heard you.
over time.
Okay.
Because you said BC, you said what was
Watch
that,
this.
BC?
Yeah.
What
No.
was the date?
No. I'm 70 AD.
Yeah, the timeline, that's what I'm trying to get the
Right,
timeline.
70 AD.
70 AD. Oh, this was after Christ.
I said 78. Yeah, 70 AD. Yeah. Watch this. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, watch this.
Oh, so this is not before Christ, this is after Christ.
Yeah, 78 before Christ is BC.
BC, right, so
Right.
this is after Christ.
Right.
Okay.
Come on, reach that.
The black Jews had an advantage.
Listen, brother. Listen.
Had an advantage over the African tribes.
No, what?
The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes.
Read on. Listen, bro.
They carried their culture,
Their what?
their culture,
Uh-huh.
history,
Uh-huh.
laws,
Uh-huh.
and written records.
So listen. You saying it'll be hard to identify the Israelites, right? That's what you said. If they dwelt when I'm talking about when the Romans
Over
came,
time.
over time,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
pretty much what it's saying.
listen. When they came to Africa and got us,
Yeah,
listen, hold on. Listen. How to identify a race of people? You have to have a culture. You have to have laws. You have to have. That's the only way you can identify people. So if I'm going over to Africa and I'm looking for these people, right? I'm gonna look in their book and like the Feast of Tabernacle. When that come around? Who's doing that over there? The Africans ain't doing it. The fringes on their clothes.
Oh man, I don't know.
The fringes on their clothes. All of our holidays, they know our high holidays. They knew we did those. The Africans didn't do that. Read that. Keep on.
And written records with them. His assured them a constant president for the development of a higher social organization.
Read.
Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autonomous population.
So because of our culture, we didn't absorb in the Africans' culture. We did our own thing. Read.
In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes.
Read.
The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrial and skillful people.
Now, hey, brother, I'm gonna ask. Hey, listen. In Africa, right? Were we skillful people? I mean, the Africans, were they skillful people?
Yes.
Like what type of stuff they make?
Building culture, civilization.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what they tell you. That's what, no. That's what they tell you. It was actually us. That's what the officer was bringing out. He's finna show you. Read that part again.
Okay.
No. Start at
Start back from the top.
No. Because of the stability.
Okay,
bro.
Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autonomous population.
Read that part.
In fact,
Read the Jews.
the Jews made.
Look, listen. Watch this. Now, listen. This is from Babylon and Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Winston.
I check it out.
Now,
I never heard of it.
Listen. When we got to Africa, we started making the Africans. That's why they hate us. Cause we brought our gold, we brought our stuff over there, and they know that our God deal with us.
They hate you like they hate the mother Jews.
No. They hate us. The other Jews, those are fake Jews. That's
what I'm saying. Do you think they hate you?
They hate us because God chose us.
I'm saying you think they hate us?
Yes, they do. The Bible said they hate us. Get that in Joel. Keep on reading.
The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people.
What were we?
Industrious and skillful people.
We brought our skills over in all the different parts of Africa. Watch this. Come on.
And the Jewish Guyana states were found kings.
What we what?
Kings.
Come on.
Princes.
We were princes.
Governors.
We were governors. Africans didn't know how to govern that. Come on.
Generals.
We had generals. Come on.
Secretaries.
We had secretaries. Come on.
Treasurers. Revenue agents. Judges.
We had what?
Judges.
Come on.
Architects.
We had all that. No, they didn't. No, they did not. Come on.
Engineers.
What you've been taught is that all Africans are the same. No, we brought that to them.
Right.
Come on.
Doctors.
Come on. We what?
Doctors.
Come on.
Historians.
See, when you see all the African doctors, they might not be Africans. They might be Israel. Because he said the spirit bear witness. Now listen. We're not saying that all of us came over here in America. Some of us still left over there, the Israelites, not Africans.
Yeah.
Come on.
But they had a civilization before any migrations.
No. Read that.
Language interpreters.
That's what you was taught. That's wrong. That's what you was
It
taught.
matches up every scholar.
Where do you get that information?
Any book you read about any scholar.
So any book. No. But the
Everything
Bible
comes
says
from a
different.
book.
No. This was all in the true book. I'm gonna show you that African sold us. What is it? Joel 3. Joel 3. Finish that out first.
Language interpreters. Mathematicians.
We did all that.
Not that
They didn't have that in
They
Africa.
didn't have doctors
No.
and mathematicians in
No.
Africa, bro.
That was us.
Hey.
Come on.
Jewelers.
Come on.
Jewelers. Sculptors. Masons. Carpenters.
So what we reading is all the skillful things that the Israelites brought into Africa. They wasn't doing none of that. I'm finna show you, listen, I'm finna show you that the Africans sold us. Help sold us.
Help sold us. Because a lot of people had their hand in that.
Yeah, and they were one of the people.
You got ships right now.
Joel,
Jews.
chapter 3, verse 3.
Come on.
And they have cast lots for my people.
God said it's the people that cast lots for us, meaning that you put a brother right here, you put a brother right here, cast lots. I want this nigga. I want this nigga. Come on.
And have given a boy for an harlot.
Because in slavery, they gave our men for harlots, meaning that they have us sleep with our sisters without marrying them, required to raise up big buck children to work in the plantation. Come on.
And sold a girl for wine.
They sold our girls for wine. Guess what? When they sold a girl, they had sex with our women.
Right.
Come on.
That's true, brother.
That they might drink. Yea. And what have ye to do with me, O Tyree and Zidon?
Tyree and Zidon, African nations.
Right.
God said, what have you to do with me? What have you to do with me, Africans? We're not Africans. We are the Israelites of the Bible.
That's right.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have abandoned. We have abandoned. How about you? How about you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.